Welcome back to A View from the Mic and Newsbox. I'm really privileged today to be with Kevin Lind, a senior defenseman at Notre Dame. I think a lot of fans would be curious about the path you took for youth when you started.
I started out, we live in Homer Glen, started playing youth hockey at a very young age there, and kind of worked up through House League and into the Vikings program. And I think about 7th grade, I decided that I want to play AAA, so we tried out for Team Illinois. And great coach Nate by the name of Dave Thiel took a lever on me, and I probably shouldn't have made the team, but he saw the potential in me, so I ended up playing at Team Illinois for 3 years. After my 3 years at Team Illinois, I decided to switch over to the Mission for a year, and then had a great coach by the name of Pete Ratilli there, who still lives in the area as well. So after that, I was drafted by the Steel in the first round of the Futures draft and played under Steve Pops, who was another great coach. So I've had some great coaches in my career, and then kind of a no-brainer. I grew up around Chicago and was always a Notre Dame fan, so when they came calling, I accepted right away. So that was kind of my path growing up.
As good as you are, the odds are still somewhat remote of you actually making the NHL, right?
Right.
You were a 6th-round draft pick, and quite often those players will make it, but you do have to have plan B, right?
Absolutely, and that's why I chose Notre Dame, and that's why I chose the college route, because there's always life after hockey, and even, the Michael Jordans of the world, the Wayne Gretzkys of the world, whether they have tremendous, professional careers, they still have life, a whole life after their sport. So, I chose to get that degree at Notre Dame.
Talk about the experience of being selected in the draft. Tell me about what was the scenario. Where were you, and how did that happen?
Well, I was at home. There was talk I could be anywhere from the 2nd round to not pick. So it was the longest day of my life.
What did it feel like at the moment you heard your name?
Well, it was my family advisor, Kevin Magnuson, was there, and he called me, and he said, Anaheim just called your name on the loudspeaker. So I ran down to the top of my stairs and yelled to my friends, Anaheim, and they all started clapping, and my dad and mom started crying. So it was a special experience, and it was something that I'll never forget. And it started out the worst day of my life, and then it became the best day of my life. So it was a lot of fun.
You mentioned your parents. You wouldn't be here, and most of the really good hockey players would not be anywhere without the hockey moms and hockey dads.
I owe everything I have to my parents. They were tremendous, and still they come to every single college game, home and away. They're flying to Vermont, flying to Boston now, and it's awesome seeing them in the stands no matter where I go, and it gives me a lot of motivation to make them proud. But they've been tremendous, and the sacrifices that they make, I can never pay back. So,
Kevin, thank you. This is Kevin Lind, senior defenseman for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I'm Mike Romano with A View from the Mic and Newsbox.